justice mmara kwan so no nam anase sabi o kratumi nti opese osisi Ghana for ni maami chief justice na wo chinchina atwan obeyi na firi ho sanse onta na chance oni na ban mu ni sane man sana uhuna na honorable.
Well, the question is 3-hour paper. It's a 3-credit paper.
And yes, I'm good. Yes,
loaded.
Loaded. That's why we trust you. Yes.
You know, bako for your listeners to understand. First of all, my for in 1969. 1969, after the overthrow of Nkrumah, Ghana ya an opportunity after the military rule of 3 years to do a new constitution. And in the new constitution, the matter of the removal of a chief justice was deliberated upon. Consultative Assembly reports the matter of the chief justice, removal of a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature was dealt with. Now, in 1969, the drafters of the Constitution say, yen the party from the American process, yen the party from the British process. The question is, what is the British process?
And the American process.
Britain and the American process. In Britain, United Kingdom, say United Kingdom 4% only a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature. This is a parliament. Now we wouldn't say parliament is the arena for politics. In the United States, you will be a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature. This is impeachment in Congress. And Congress is the arena for politics. In 1969, the drafters of the Constitution say, politics and animating and defining the way we remove our chief justices or justice of the Superior Court of Judicature from office. In 1969, now the creation of the Council of States. In 1969 Constitution. Now, the provision that the President urged petition for the removal of the justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, which includes the Chief Justice, on determine whether there's a prima facie case with the Council of States. So historically, at the end, SC in the started in 1969. It is in the 1969 Constitution. 1969, yeah, overthrow a constitution after Kutua Champo, subsequently by Akufo. Then the restoration of democratic rule. That provision reflected in 1979 Constitution. After the overthrow of the Liman administration and the reign of Jerry John Rawlings as a military ruler and our attempt at a third republic, as a fourth republic, that provision is reflected in the 1992 Constitution. So Constitution provision historically it started in 1969. So that is why all of us must decry and condemn in strong terms the politicization of this process. Because it has not been the intention of the drafters of the Constitution to politicize it. No matter, man, we can't say that. Say MPP for normal politicizing the removal of the Chief Justice. We knew the Chief Justice has been an MPP sympathizer. That's why they have elected themselves to defend the Chief Justice.
Now let us start to now MPP for yes, Anna. A honorable me mukakra. How?
Oh, number one, MPP for and actors of MPP. Court to restrain the president from acting. As for any dummy, court, yes, sir. As for no court,
as if for Tafu MP.
Yes, Tafu MP. Dummy, lawyer, and then for court. The court has dismissed their action. Their injunction.
Yeah, 3-2 ruling. Okay. Yeah.
Withdrawing the injunction, and then they were talking about the unconstitutionality. The court said no. And these two people are key MPP activists or actors. The former Attorney General and a member of Parliament for Ultafo. That's one. Two, MP before who hold the press conference in Parliament, led by Afeni Markin, criticizing the process to remove the Chief Justice, or the process to remove the Chief Justice. Three, even when Makokwe's report was presented at the MPP headquarters, after the presentation, the minority leader, Afeni Markin, had opportunity at the MPP party office to condemn the removal process. 4, MPP 4 normal organizing all the other parties to conduct a demonstration or lead a demonstration against the removal process. And the normal process, I don't know their interest in that, but it creates a difficult situation for any neutral person to not to condemn what is happening, because over Article 146, that was not the intent of the Article 146.
Honorable Yanshan is
Article 146.
Honorable Article 146, Obibeka say probably MPP4 said okay go for the former Attorney General and Ultafo MP omo ediko court obi Obibeka said they represent a section of the public and omo dwene say ebia de ekoso na omo ntiase nti omo de kokodo omo kwanya mu ntiase. Can we say that is politicization of the issue?
So whatever coincidence that will mean, we'll leave it to the general your listeners to determine.
Medase afi young 146 no.
A petition to remove a Chief Justice does not automatically translate into a removal.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's a due process.
So, Mr. Kachio said, a majority of the Chief Justices of this country have faced similar treatment, but none of them has been removed from office.
Even this particular CJ, a petition was sent to Nana Addo Dankwa, and more like he ignored it. So,
yeah. So I'm just telling you. If you look at Adichum and the Republic, it was a petition for the removal of a Chief Justice. If you go back and read our Justice Aban, there was a petition to remove him from office. I mean, just go back and look at history. You will find a lot of petitions. So that is one. Now, what is Article 146 about?
Again, sorry, before we continue from 146, probably, I think the problem is coming from a comment before John Dramani Mahama won power, that when they come, they will make sure the Chief Justice is removed. Such of these comments that are in circulation is probably inspiring these people, this school of thought that, I mean, once the petition has been sent in, then it begins the process.
May I end this in me? I can't recall a statement ever made by John Dramani Mahama that end this by your Chief Justice.
Okay.
I can't recall any statement like that. Because John Dramani Mahama himself, Chief Justice is protected by law.
Opemsuo.
And I'm going to demonstrate to you why if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. Because Article 1461, no, they don't like it. Now, Article 146 say, and the whole Article 146 is not about removal of Chief Justice.
Dabby.
It's about removal of justices of the Superior Court of Judicature and chairman of regional tribunals.
So 146 says a justice of the Superior Court or a chairman of the regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or on ground of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind.
Of my mind. So shall not be removed. Attention, shall not be removed unless it is on the basis of what? Stated
Misbehavior, incompetence, or ground of inability.
You just say infirmity of mind
body, yeah.
So these are the three grounds. So who see John Dramani Mahama say, Oba, it must, the removal must come within the three grounds. It's not that the removal process is at large. Yes, sir. The petition must demonstrate misconduct.
Is based on some conditions.
Condition precedent. In the Article 125 of the Constitution say justice emanates from the people. Yes, sir. Now,
exactly.
If justice emanates from the people must have the right to determine whether or not a justice has misconducted himself in such a way that ought to then deliver justice. No. So the Constitution has provided a procedure. So Article 146 is self-contained. So the first thing is that the conditions under which a judge can be removed from office. What kind? Article 146 say, when the president receives a petition for the removal of a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, or the petition is qualified,
he shall refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who shall determine whether there is a prima facie case.
Good, very good. You know, the president has no duty, no responsibility to a petition by a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature. So on the petition, about forward the petition to the Chief Justice.
He cannot do anything to it. He has no power. He has no power.
No power. Only power. When the Chief Justice receives the petition, she doesn't determine whether or not there's a prima facie case with the Judicial Council.
He shall set up a committee consisting of three justices.
No. First of all, the Chief Justice determines whether there's a prima facie case. It is only when she determines that it's a prima facie case.
Then we can proceed.
Then we can proceed. So if she says there's no prima facie case, Asa. But if she says there's a prima facie case, she will set up a committee comprising of three justices. She will set up a committee comprising three justices of the Superior Court of Judicature and two other persons.
Exactly. And again, we can still confirm that the president still has no duty here.
Duty there. So the next question you will ask yourself, so has Article 1463 ever been invoked? Yes. The first case was Loretta Lamte. She was head of Shiraj. The terms and conditions of the head of Shiraj is the same as a justice of the Court of Appeal. A removal process is coterminous to a removal process of a justice of a judge of the Court of Appeal, or a justice of the Court of Appeal. Now, in 2015, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
I MP.
And Richard Nyama, Richard Nyaman.
Mekai ni pa.
Good. Omo file petition for the removal of Loretta Lamptey, who was the head of Chiraj, to the presidency. And the president referred the petition to the Chief Justice, to Dorawood. And the Chief Justice determined that there was a proper facie case and established a committee. The committee recommended, say, Loretta Lamptey must be removed from office. Loretta Lamptey was an appointee of John Dramani Mahama. But the committee established under Article 1463 recommended a removal. She was removed. Okay.
Exactly.
Good. What was the abuse of office? In 2017, 2018, the president received the first petition was a headless petition for the removal of Charlotte Osei. Before MPP won the 2016 elections, winning elections are Charlotte Osei. And I want it.
I almost say Mahama so castle bones we mammy.
No, what I want it.
Said the Meti Mahama di Sana Meti ba.
Good. So said the Uti, you know. So you see, because they said that and did know, and the Omoka say, Omo say, your mama so or repeated the script. I did the Omoye, no. But your mama on you and Anakobado. So Article 1463 was invoked against Charlotte Osei, and she was removed. So Article 146 has come into operation. Now, but these petitions, the Dramani Mahama RCV, they were for the removal of a Chief Justice. And yes,
sir.
So that comes under Article 1466.
Which reads, where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the President, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers.
Good. So the President receives the petition, just like for the removal of the Chief Justice, just like he received the petition for the removal of a justice of the Supreme Court, or Supreme Court of Judicature. But here, the Chief Justice is the justice of the Supreme Court of Judicature. So one would have thought that the referral petition number Chief Justice is determined because also see a judge, but it will flout the rule of natural justice. To be a judge in her own cause. Indeed, the drafters of the Constitution, I want to say, if they constitute the President alone as head of state to determine whether there's a problem of a case, and you have a President who is capricious and vindictive, that President will go after the Chief Justice. And
there, of course, we can record an abuse of power.
Good. So what did they do? What did the drafters of the Constitution do?
To refer such of those cases to even the council.
Wait, I'm telling you. They impose an institutional limitation on the exercise of power of the President.
The President, yeah.
Obviously, that proper fashion must be determined in consultation with the Council of State.
And we all know the constituent of the Council of State.
And we know that the Council of State is now political. So, and then we know the decision in
Honorable, can we confirm again that the Council of State, is it political?
No, it's non-political.
Okay.
It's the Council of State. So when you go back to the 1969 Constitution, the concept of the Council of State is to get experienced people who will put national interests against personal parochial interests or political interests. Persons who have served this country in various capacities and have experience. That is the concept of the Council of State. Some have said it is like a second chamber to hold the balance between the executive and the legislature and ensure that the problems ever they can be intervene, advise the president, and also consult with the Council of State. Or consult with the Parliament. That's the nature of the Council of State. So,
Honorable, in fact, I'm following you keenly, but then looking at it, I personally, I don't see where the president has erred, especially with this particular petition and the due process that has been followed. But what would you think somebody would think that will take it to be like an abuse of power?
Well, no one can. Well, can you fight anybody who is expressing an opinion? John Locke has said that you can't fault a decision if that decision is arrived at following the accepted rules of procedure. You can't fault that decision. It is only when that decision is arrived at not following procedure that you can fault that decision. So when a decision is arrived at not following procedure, that is when we say there's an abuse of the process. But if that decision follows procedure, there cannot be an abuse.
Great.
And many people in Ghana have said that so far, John Dramani Mahama has not abused any of the process.
So, how would you kindly advise our brothers who think that there's an abuse of power?
I'll tell them that, look, there's a distance between Kumasi and Tamale at the point where prophecy is made and at the point where the committee makes a determination. So, it's a long distance.
Literally?
Because when the prophecy case is made, it means that the respondent, in this case the Chief Justice, will be given an opportunity to defend herself at the committee level. And she will offer all facilities. And she will be there with a lawyer and expert witnesses if she wants. Because this is a serious matter.
Honorable, if there's a takeaway for me this evening in our conversation, at the beginning you said Article 1 forces does not necessarily mean the Chief Justice is removed. And that's a takeaway for me.
No, it does not necessarily mean the Chief Justice is removed. It means the processes have been triggered. And there are checks and balances. Let me just tell you two more checks and balances. Article 14610A, read it and your listeners will listen.
14610 is, in the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice.
Good. Acting in accordance with the President may, acting in accordance with the advice from the Council of State. Not so.
May, yes.
What does it tell you? Not the may. The may is qualified. The may is qualified by a phrase. That phrase is acting in accordance with the advice.
Another check.
Of the Council of State.
Another check.
Another check. And we call that check a procedural check.
So you can see that right from the process, as Article 146 states, every step of the way, Council of State is in check of the actions of the president.
President, now go and read Article 1469.
The president shall, in each case, act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. So, another check.
The president shall, in each case, act in accordance
with the recommendations of the committee.
In each case, whether it is the removal of a justice of a Superior Court of Judicature, whether it is in respect of a removal of a chief justice, the president shall act in accordance with the recommendation of the committee. That is a substantive check.
Honorable.
So, Article 1466, there's an institutional check. Article 14610, there's a procedural check. Article 1469, there is a substantive check.
So the president has no way or can never abuse the process.
I say that anytime you read the Article 146 carefully, you appreciate the import of constitutionalism. You appreciate the import of checks and balances.
Honestly, Honorable, the way I'm enjoying this conversation, I will try and see if we can talk about it again tomorrow. I will knock on your door and see.
Okay.
I'm very grateful for your time, and I'll try your line again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Honorable Fuseini Inusah, and I didn't know I said, honestly, I was here. China, me boy, a crumble my mess,